Welcome back to this the second day of this meeting. So today we're going to start with a short presentation by Sven Pettersson about this European network tornado that you've heard yesterday about already. He will give you a few details, the work packages to speak European language, the deliverables, and all these things. And then Fiona Puri will take over the chair and will introduce the two sessions this morning. So, Sven, please. And you will ask Sven again this afternoon in another register, which is more his research. But I must say that you've been a very efficient coordinator for this tornado network so far. So I think it's well deserved that you can show what we are trying to do.
Good morning. I should not take the credit. Joseph should take the credit. Anyway, we have an EU large-scale program called Tornado. And this is the title, Diet and its Effect on Development on Microflora and Impact on Immune System Throughout Life. There is 15 PIs, 2 food companies, and 5 SMEs. And it spans from end of 2009 to 2013. And surprisingly, giving this meeting, we come to this idea that gut microbiota seems to play a role in setting physiological parameters in the host, and that actually playing around with the gut microbiota, you may actually be able to sustain health. And that during many type of chronic inflammatory diseases, there will be presence of a changed microbiota, whether that's the hen or the egg, that remains still a controversy. But it's likely that that is part of the phenotype that the clinicians classify as different diagnoses. And this is the acronym, which I still don't can remember, so I read it to you. Molecular targets open for regulation by the gut flora. New avenues for improved diet to optimize European health. And the key is really in the cartoon below, where we basically have introduced a very, very strong impact on molecular mechanism. And this is based on the fact that traditionally in the area of commensal bacteria and host responses, there's been a lot of pilot studies and very, very few examples of molecular mechanism. And we felt this was where we could contribute. And for some good reason, EU approved that concept. And it's sort of broken down in word packages. We have epidemiology, population genetics, and metabolome, which a whole series of good groups with nice cohorts. And then we have package 2, 3, 4, which is then either intervention studies or more specific addresses some disease questions. The core is in the VP3, VP4, which basically deals with the mechanistic studies using animal models, ex vivo systems, and its relation to immunity and metabolic problems. And then, according to the classical EU guidelines, you like to translate this into some health claims. Whether we can do that or not, we'll see as we go along. And then there's a sequencing platform to get a little grip on how the microbiome look like. And basically this I've covered, so I can skip that. And the objectives is, of course, to deliver first-class data and to substantiate that, if possible, into some health claims, which I already said. And perhaps the last point, which is quite interesting, can we use the results that come out of Tornado and translate that into the food industry and be helpful for them for the design of new food derivatives or improving existing food derivatives that basically can sustain health in order to prevent the presence of signs of disease. And it was a very nice initiative by Philippe and Brett to bring us into this 2 days discussion, because it complements quite nicely what we set out to do. And with this, I stop and hand over to Philippe.